Ahoj všechny! Tohle je The 19 to the Dozen. Sleduje záznam mého rozhovoru s úžasnou indie rockovou kapelou I Love You Honey Bunny, kterou sleduju od doby, co živu v Prahe. 2015 jsem je viděl poprvé live a jsem se zamiloval do jejich hudby, energie a mladí. Jako Pražák jsem začal objevovat a poznovat místy legendou jako Plastic People of the Universe nebo Vysačí zámek, které miluju a respektuju. Sádím se, že I Love Honey Bunny jsou připraveni na úspěch a se svým nejnovějším albem Cosmic Background Radiation klepou na dveře Sineslávy. Přeji jim vy nejlepší v jejich skvělé kariéře. Poslouchejte si jejich nejnovější album. Nenechte si ujít. Go to the fucking live concert if you can. Pokud ještě se právě očtili na naší stance, přihlašte se k odběru našeho kanálu a získáte možnost sledovat další rozhovory s inspirami lidí z Prahy. Díky. It's horrible. This is 19 to the Dozen. It is my great pleasure today and personal happiness. This is fucking an achievement for me and Stan. We have I Love You Honey Bunny in Magenta Experience podcasting studio. Let me tell you how I met them. And it's kind of a funny story because I think I've been following them since look at their faces almost before they were born. But it must have been 2015 in Café Vuleshe, and it wasn't the first time... or 16. It wasn't the first time I saw them. It was the first time I talked to them. And actually the only time I talked to them until now. It happened like that. It was probably like the fourth time I saw them. I almost already knew their lyrics and the songs they were playing. Big up to Knees, Laser Queen, Yellow and Blue, Introduction. They're old songs which you can find on their YouTube channel. But the point is, eventually, Sebastian, which is their vocals, is here with Chris, their bass player, and Martin. And Martin, their guitar player. Actually, Seb, I don't know if you remember or not. You came up to me after the concert because it was already the smoking ban in place, so I couldn't smoke inside. So I was outside enjoying my cigarette in front of Vuleshe. And this guy comes up to me and he's just like, how come you know all our songs? Who are you? And in that moment, I swear to God, guys, in that moment, I wanted to tell Sebastian, I'm with Geffen Records and I'm hunting for new fucking talents because that's what they fucking deserve, man. I mean, just listen to their songs. I'm sharing it with everybody and they say that they are awestruck. Ave Strauk. Bleh, we're gonna cut this. But they're awestruck. They are really good. These guys are really good. So we had 5 minutes. I don't know if you remember them or not.
Yeah, I do. You have a very memorable face.
Thank you for that. And you were telling me, the only thing I asked was, how come you guys got into music? And you were telling me, I don't remember exactly if you're living in Berlin at the time, or your parents were living, or you grew up in Berlin, or whatever. The point that attracted me to the thing was that I believe at that time you're 21, 22. I believe at this now you're not more than 27 or whatever. You guys are young guys, right? But he was telling me, like, my parents had a huge collection of records, and I listened to like Pink Floyd and Black Sabbath, and that's when, like, I was already in love, but that's when I realized, like, where this really good sound and groove comes from. I mean, you guys are. For young guys, your sound is so complete, so full, so round that it's really. I mean, I'm just your biggest fan, and I hope this is the only thing that I say during this hour and a half because fuck all I got for you.
I mean, yeah, that's really nice of you. That's really nice. we just had our egos stroked for the past 5 minutes, which I mean feels good, but always.
I just hope your egos came back. Babe.
Yeah, it always makes you feel a bit awkward, but in like a good way. So thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I remember that night because 2016 we still weren't like that established on the scene, and now like we do get people coming to our shows knowing songs and stuff. But back then that was like a strange thing, especially for like a dude who's
there, just to give
who's
a
not
little
17.
bit of context. Exactly, just to give a little
girl.
bit of context. These guys, I mean, usually have like their age group is 17 to 27 somehow.
Yeah, and
you're very
mostly
popular with
women
the girls as well. Yeah. But it's such a
people make fun of us.
It's not a girl sound you have. I mean.
Yeah, we like to think so. I don't know, but apparently that's just the way. No. We like to think we don't have like a only girl sound. We are very inclusive.
Actually, if you look up our statistics on Spotify,
you're bringing numbers.
Actually, most of our listeners are like men. It's not like a majority of them is girls. It's just prejudice.
It's just girls at the concert, which is cool.
Yeah,
cool. Which is the good way to have it.
Yeah.
It would suck to have it the other way around. But no, so that was nice. It was funny, and we did talk about that because my parents, they met in Berlin. I never lived in Berlin, but they did meet there. And my dad always was a lot into music. He had a post-punk.
He had like a band.
He had a band in Freiburg first, and
Okay.
then like he moved to Berlin afterwards. But he had a band called Der gute Ton, which means the good tone.
Yeah.
And they were like a punk band. And I found some photos of him naked on stage, which always a good thing to find about your
His
father.
dad is a cool guy right there.
Yeah, no, he's really cool. Like my dad is a really cool person, and I think like he's the biggest influence like musically on me I've ever had, because he always had like some insane music home. And like the CDs he had, always some obscure stuff that I would find, and he would just give me some random stuff and go like, listen to this, and then he'd leave and just have me listen to it for a few hours, and then he'd come back and he'd be like, okay, so what did you think? And so that was really nice every time. I don't know, like his favorite guitarist, Bill Frisell, which is a very like jazzy guitar player, but he also branches out into country, and so that was like a weird thing for me, because every time I would have some opinion about music, he'd be like, oh no, here's this thing. And then I'd be so confused about it, because I'd be like, no, country music sucks, it's so bad. And he'd just bring me this album from Bill Frisell. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a country album basically. And I'd be like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like, my ears like this, but I shouldn't. And so yeah, that was kind of the biggest thing I've had. I don't know about you guys, actually.
I mean, I had it basically the same with my dad. He is really into industrial music. Like,
true, he has a band. He still has a band.
He still has a band.
Yeah, we
I've
should
probably
all
seen
go.
your dad
We should
live
all
as
go
well.
see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name?
They are called Papersky Inženýra Garina, which I believe it's some kind of old Russian movie or whatever.
Okay.
And yeah, it's huge underground. You know, it's like right now it's, I would say, 12 55 years old guys, you know, on stage just like banging everything, like I don't know, like washing machines, and then they also have like live drums and guitar and bass, but then like bunch of guys just banging shit. And yeah, it's
why
so much
sample?
fun.
Why
Yeah,
sample?
why sample? Exactly. And yeah, so
You just need 12 people.
you just need 12 people. Yeah, and my dad was actually a huge influence on my music taste also. As Sebastian was saying, I was always into something, and he was like, yeah, it's alright, but you know, try this, you know. Just yeah, he wasn't pushy or anything about that, but just growing up listening to good music in the house was,
yeah, that's what I liked
really,
about it,
really
because
nice.
he always like lets you listen to it, and then he'd only ask you like what you thought about it. And sometimes I didn't like the stuff he gave me. I would be like, oh, I don't know, I don't feel that. I'd be like, okay, and then that would pretty much be it. And he'd just be like, okay, good to know. Like, this is not the type of stuff you're into now. Maybe later you'll find your way onto that. So yeah, for example, like Pink Floyd, the first time he showed me, I wasn't really into it. And like my taste in music has moved so drastically in the first years of my teenage years. was crazy. I think we all had that in a way, which is
Yeah.
cool because, like, I know a lot of people, they'd say, well, yeah, I listened to a bit of pop, then reggae, and that's it. And then they moved on to...
In January, we were
Yeah.
listening to reggae and everything, and then I don't know, by November the same year, it was like post-punk, and then next half of the year, it was jazz, you know? It's like,
But I always had, like, a really strong phase. I would go, like, all in. Like, all in. So when I was, 12, 13, I think? Yeah, about 13. That's when I began listening to, like, oldies stuff. So I'd be a huge Led Zeppelin fan, which was, like, the first good music, I think, that I listened to. Because before that, I didn't really have a taste of my own. My sister listened to a lot of stuff, and I'd listen to what she listened to. But back then, I was like, okay, so this is a thing that I like. And she does, but it's not her, it's my thing. So that was like the big awakening was, I think, that stuff. So Led Zeppelin, The Who, like the first Beatles stuff. I would listen to the White Album, like the remastered version by Beatles on repeat, like non-stop. We went to Germany on vacation with the family, and I just wouldn't talk to anyone. I would just have my earphones the whole time in my head, and they'd all be like, "Could you take that out?" I was like, "No," and that was it. It was the only conversation we had the whole 2 weeks we spent in Germany in the countryside, and. Like I have great memories of that vacation, by the way. I think that was one of the best vacations we've had with the family. But I wasn't very social at that vacation, so I'm sorry, Mom.
What about you, Chris?
Actually, funny thing, we kind of had the same story with our drummer, you know? We had a same fate that when we were young, we were strongly influenced by our sisters. And they actually listened to a quite edgy music, you know? They would start with gothic metal and this very, very heavy stuff, you know?
He was listening to some weird shit.
Actually, actually, I do speak for both of us, our drummer and I. And we started with these like crazy metal things, and we were like,
we were all metalheads.
Yeah.
I still enjoy My Dying
were.
Bride. I still enjoy Paradise Lost. I still enjoy all this
Yeah,
shit. Even
exactly.
though, like, once in a while, not as...
And there's nothing.
But I
wrong-
still
like,
enjoy it.
You can never go wrong by playing anything by System of a Down. Like anytime,
Yeah, totally.
just put some System of a Down, and I'll be happy. Like anytime, I don't care what happens.
From time to time, we
Yeah,
still
from time to
do
time, you just listen to
System
it.
of a Down in the van.
Yeah.
and
Yes,
we go
we
to the
actually
show.
do.
Yeah.
And the first live, like, huge concert that I went to actually was the Sonisphere thing.
Okay.
So that was like
yeah.
the huge European thing. They would take the biggest metal bands of all time, and they just smack them on one night and tour it around Europe and the world, basically. And they came to the Czech Republic, and back then I was like a huge System of a Down fan, and I listened to Alice in Chains and maybe some 9 Inch Nails, and I just got into Megadeth. And I was like, Megadeth, man. And they're playing Sonisphere. I was like, oh my God, I have to see that. Like, this is insane. Alice in Chains was there as well.
You were-
So this
you
was
were-
like
you
a
were like
huge,
12
huge
at
thing.
the
And I was
time,
like
right?
12,
Yeah,
13.
yeah.
12, man.
Nah, maybe a bit more, because 12 is when I
Still? Oh
was
my
listening-
God.
12, I was listening to Led Zeppelin, The Who, that stuff. So that was 13, 14 maybe. I was like 13 or 14. And I couldn't go
Still
alone,
amazing,
obviously.
yeah.
I couldn't go alone, obviously. And there was this one girl in our school, college, and she was in last year, and I was like second year. So she was way older than me. But she was a huge metalhead. And I knew she was going there. I knew she had tickets because her dad was working for Sonisphere. So I went up to her and was like, okay, I really need to go to this concert. My parents won't let me go alone, obviously. I don't have the money for it. Like, what can I do? What do you have? What am I gonna fucking work for you? I'm gonna be your slave. I don't know. I'm just gonna get me there. And she was really nice, and it was strange because she was always super scary because she had like these like spiky things everywhere on her body, and I was like, whoa, this girl is like, you don't mess with her. But she was actually really nice, and she just said, yeah, sure, I still have some tickets. Just have one. You can come with us. Like, my dad is gonna vouch for you. He's gonna talk to your mom. It's gonna be fine. I was like, this is amazing. And so we went. We actually went. He drove us there, and I stayed there with him and her, and I had like the time of my life actually. And the only thing that was actually strange is that the headliner, the main thing, was Metallica, and they played last. And I thought they were so shit. They were so bad. It was like the worst concert that night. everyone was good, like Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax, Alice in
Slayer,
Chains. Man, that was so good. Like Slayer, I didn't know them when I went there, and I just left and I was like, okay, these guys are
Seasons in the
extremely
Abyss,
cool.
It's amazing.
And
yeah.
I was so struck by the idea that Metallica, this like huge band, was so bad.
Were they playing Load at the time or Reload or was it?
I can't remember
Death
what
Magnetic?
it was. I can't remember. It was
But
20.
yeah, that's
What was that? 28? It's 20. Yeah, it was like 2008, 2000. Yeah, 2008, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
That's
could-
pretty much
yeah.
what it was.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was 13, 14.
So I think it was Death Magnetic. It's their
Probably,
shit album.
yeah. And it was like so bad. The show was insane. Like they had fireworks and flames everywhere and flying people and whatever. But I just like kind of at that moment just saw through the stuff and listened and was just like, okay, let's just leave. It was late as well, so you know I just needed to go home anyways. So I didn't feel bad at leaving from Metallica.
At least
So-
you've seen Mustaine.
Yeah, I've seen so many good, and I can say I've seen Metallica now, and I can say they're shit and not be a hypocrite. So that's cool.
In 2009, we were at Rock for People with Chris, actually, and we went to see Arctic Monkeys.
Okay.
And we came there, we listened to like 2 songs, and then we were like, oh, they are so shit, you know, let's leave, you know, we didn't know them at the time, it was like 2009.
That's true,
know.
you told me
Yeah,
this
and
story.
we were, exactly,
I
yeah.
hate you
and we were
both.
listening to metal stuff at the time, so yeah, we were enjoying the small Czech metal bands on the small show, and it was like, oh, Arctic Monkeys, what is that? That sucks, you know, so yeah, we we left.
So from
Yeah.
from your stories, I get it that like kind of you've been friends before playing music, right? Kind of.
Oh,
That's
well,
not
or-
true.
So the whole story goes like this: these guys had a band in school, right? What was that?
Yeah,
It
but
was like
we've actually met in kindergarten
Oh,
with
yeah,
Chris.
yeah.
We
So-
know each
oh, yeah,
other
that's true.
since 5
Yeah,
years
since
old.
5
Yeah,
years old.
yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. Even with our sound engineer, he's been in the same class in kindergarten with us.
yeah. By the way,
Yes.
that
So
guy's
funny.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
he's got such a good ear.
Yeah,
But-
he's gonna mix this show actually.
Oh, nice, cool.
That's
So
for sure.
you'll have
Thank
some
you,
good sound.
sound guy.
I'll just check audio.
Yeah, so these guys knew basically brothers, and we met at a summer camp.
Yeah.
And the funny part is the summer camp was Magic the Gathering themed
Wow.
because I'm a huge nerd. And I love Magic the Gathering, and I still play it to this day. I even went to some tournaments. I went to a Pro Tour qualifier. I was like really into it. We have some
Yeah.
friends who are actual
I
top.
wasn't. Yeah, I was into
your
it. Yeah, at the time. I was,
Cousin is like Floch, who's
Floch, yeah.
insanely cool Slovak guy who won the Pro Tour in.
yeah, I guess
Whatever.
like the best
Yeah,
player of Magic the Gathering in Central
So
Europe.
we
One of the best. Yeah.
but none of you guys play Magic the Gathering.
I
right?
actually used to with
You
Martin
used to with-
only.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he was
we
so
did,
good
actually.
I sucked. You know?
Oh, okay. so we were the 2 guys,
I
and we
wasn't
met
good at
there,
all, but,
and
yeah.
we met at summer camp, played some Magic the Gathering and some D&D, but like the light version, like shit version on the go, where I don't know. There's no dice. You just talk, and it's fun, and you slay some.
We
some
actually also
creatures.
used to play a lot of D&D.
Yes.
Just together.
Yeah,
you know?
I really want to do that, but like the proper way, because we always went. At first, we just play with the dice, and then we'd go, fuck it, it's boring, and kind of leave that, which I think is a real shame, because nowadays I would really go for a D&D night. But so that's how we met, and then we haven't seen each other in 5 years, because that was like 2 years in a row.
yeah.
At this summer camp, we saw each other every summer, and then I don't know what happened. I think they canceled the camp or whatever, so we didn't go anymore, and haven't seen each other in 5 years. In the meantime, I met our drummer, Pepa, and I met him through one of my friends, which is another whole different story. But so I knew him, and I knew he was a drummer. I really liked him. We went to the same teacher to play drums back when I played, and I had like a lot of respect for him as a player, and also as just like a cool guy. He was just really cool.
Yeah, and then we came from studies abroad with Chris. He was in the UK. I was in US, and we were like, okay, let's start like a new band. And we started I Love You, Honey Bunny, and then it was like, okay, we need a drummer. And I knew Sebastian because he was actually playing drums, and he's a good drummer. So I called him, and he came and played like, I don't know, 5 rehearsals with us.
Yeah, so the first 2 I didn't come.
Yeah. and then
I just didn't show up.
Then he had like a last chance, you know.
Yeah,
so,
and then
he
these
showed
guys
up.
were so fed up, and they were like, okay, if he this time if he doesn't show up, like fuck him,
Yeah,
he's not coming anymore.
And he showed up,
and I did actually. I actually showed up, like I think half an hour late, but I did. And
so yeah, and then we played a few like rehearsals, and then we heard him, you know, singing on the like in the corridor, like when you get to the rehearsal room, and we went like, hey Sebastian, do you want to try to be a singer? You know, because we didn't have a singer. And I was like, okay, why not? I've never done that, but let's do it. So he tried, you know, just like singing and drumming, and then he was like, okay, I know this cool guy, Joseph.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I just had him come over, and I had to talk him over because he had another band,
Another
and
band.
they
Right.
were kind of getting like, I don't know, some traction, not amazing. And at that, like now, I think they didn't have anything, but back then it was like, okay, so they played a few gigs, and that's really cool because I never played any gigs. I
Yeah.
only had like a jazz band, which was shit. We played like for 5 people every night, and it was just my mom, his mom, and and the bassist's girlfriend, and that was it. And so our band was actually called Happy Funeral.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm still like huge friends with the pianist from that band, who was actually amazing. He's actually went on to study jazz piano, and like he's really good. Actually, like, which I can't say, but he knows how to play his instrument. And what was my point?
I guess you were talking about how
about how
brought Peppa to...
Joseph, yeah. So-
because you wanted to be a frontman, I guess, for the girls. You knew it was coming.
Well,
So
actually,
you said, like,
at
I
first I
cannot
was like,
be a drummer, be
Yeah.
stuck there in the back.
No, actually, at first I was like, this is gonna be cool. Like, I can be a singing drummer, which is really cool. But it's just it's so difficult and
But
complicated.
You wanted to talk Joseph for another band, am I right? This was the first time.
Yeah,
You-
dude,
he
actually,
like-
there was a different band that I was trying to start with him, and he said no every single time because he had this different band, and he was like, "This band is working, and I don't want to fuck it up, so I don't have time for a different one. So I just want to stay with this one." And so every time I was like, "Oh man, this is so." I really want him because he's good, and I want him to be in my band.
And he actually came to the first rehearsal, and he was like super high. You know, he was like he was stoned completely. Joseph, Peppa.
Oh
yeah.
really? I don't remember that. Oh god, that may make sense, but
And then
yeah, you guys weren't sure about him. I remember that.
exactly because
So the first
he
rehearsal,
sucked the first rehearsal,
he was
and he's
just
a great
so
drummer because he
weird.
was so high. He was just stoned, and then the second one was great. You know, so yeah,
You just need to keep him high all the time.
exactly. Yeah.
No, actually, on the contrary. Speaking of high, Canada, we played in Canada a few years back. It was really amazing experience we've had.
You
And
mean
like-
the Honey Bunnyz?
yeah,
we
as
had
a
like
band.
9 shows in
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
And
We
it was so
played like
nice.
from Toronto to Quebec and back.
Quebec and back.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That's cool.
Canada.
Yeah, hello Canada, all the people from Canada who still might be listening, which is not very probable.
I have 2 friends in Canada that subscribe to the channel. They are gonna, you know, like,
see.
yeah,
So
see?
hello,
two
two
people.
subscribers. Hello, this is for you. So we played there, and what we realized is that the weed in Canada is not the same weed that we have here.
Duh.
And me, I'm,
But
I'm
we
like a
don't smoke weed,
recreational
Mom,
weed
you know?
smoker. I don't go crazy, but I like, you know, I dabble a bit. And Joseph, he's more experienced, but still, he's not like crazy. And we went to Canada, and we were, where were we? There's Montreal? Yeah, so we were in Montreal. And we were supposed to have a gig, which, I don't know, kind of fell through, and we were really like bummed out, and it's like, oh fuck man, we're in Montreal and we're not gonna play, like that's such a shame. And he as a producer, or it's not a
Booking
producer,
agent.
a booking agent, which he is, he went into full like booking agent mode. I'm gonna find a gig, drop me
Right.
off. And but that was crazy. Like we were in a car, and he said, "Drop me off here." Like, what do you mean? Just stop the car. And he stepped out of the car and left.
Yeah,
And I was like, "What is going on? Where is he
That's how it's
going?"
done. That's how it's done.
and they were just like laughing at me, you know.
And I
It's
was like, "Okay, dude. Like,
Yeah.
sure, you can do whatever the fuck you want."
There was like the street, and I saw the street. I've never been to Montreal, you know. So and there was this street with, and I saw that like there's so many clubs on the street. So I went, you know, from club to club, and just were asking, and like
I was right with the knocking on the door of fame. I was fucking right.
Yeah, and
We
like
actually knock on doors.
we actually did, yeah. And in like the 5th club, they told me, actually you can't play here, but there's this really cool club, and I think you could play there tonight. So go ask over there.
Yeah, they
So-
have like an open mic
Open
night.
yeah, open
they
mic,
had
but
open
it was
mic
like
nights.
a lot of people there. It was super nice, and so I came there and was like, okay, yeah, and where are you guys from? From Czech Republic, and what are you doing here? You know, and yeah, so I found a gig, and so I called everybody else. Hey,
And meanwhile,
yeah, exactly. And I
here-
called.
so this is happening, and meanwhile, we get to a friend's place where we were supposed to stay, and she's like, "I got some weed," because we were bummed out, and she wanted to make us feel better. She's like, "Let's smoke some weed," and I was like, "Yeah, that's actually exactly what we need." So we plop down on the couch, and she takes out this huge bag filled with weed, and I'm like, what is going on here? Why does everyone in Canada have like this enormous bag stuffed with weed? And she's like, yeah, well, I just have a small stash. I'm like, small stash? That's like 5 kilos. And she rolled a spliff and passed it around. We smoked a bit, sat around for a bit, and started to feel good. I was like, yeah, this is cool. It's good weed. I like this. Suddenly, the phone rings.
Okay, long story short,
Who is
they
it?
came to the club, you know.
No, but like he called us. It's like, I've got a gig. It's like, what do you mean you've got a gig? I was like, okay, let's go. So we stood up, and the moment I stand up from the couch, like the whole world goes spinning. I was like, whoa, and it hit me so hard. We get to the gig, we set everything up, start playing, and like in the middle of the gig, I realized I'm playing a gig, and I had no idea what I was doing. Didn't know what the chords were. Didn't know what the lyrics were.
I love
I
this
was
story.
the only
I
one
love this
completely
story.
sober, you know.
So was I, though.
Yeah, Christian was as well.
yeah,
And there's a
yeah.
video. There's
I
one
drove,
that's
video
true.
of this gig. We found it. I don't know how.
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
recorded it.
Yeah.
Whatever. And there's one video of it, and I am standing there, like the microphone like this, and I'm looking. I look like I saw a ghost. It's crazy. So I'm singing the song, and this is my expression on my face, like the whole time, eyes wide open, and I'm just singing something. And apparently, like I have no idea where I am, which I didn't. So yeah,
You know, nobody did. You know, it's just like
it's crazy. And Peppa apparently was the same, but you can't see him on video, which is a shame because I would really love to see that. I can't see him behind me.
Yeah, but we played Montreal.
Yeah, we played it. It was really cool.
Cool, but you also played like huge stuff. You played Rock for People.
Yes.
You played
Few times.
the Colors.
Colors of Ostrava, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it was super nice. It's
Yeah, we
actually
played
funny.
Siget in Hungary.
Siget,
really?
Yeah,
Okay,
Siget in
cool.
Hungary was
When
really
when was that? I
That
mean,
was
like maybe 2-3 years ago.
2 years ago.
2019.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, we did all the festivals.
Before the whole Corona
Yeah.
thing.
Which I really like is I've seen their concert like 2 days ago on Radost, because I cannot say rooftop. Strzecha. Strzecha Radost. Vole. I saw you, I saw that, like, look, cosmic background radiation is but before we get into that, I mean, what I really loved about you from the first time I saw you guys until like even like on Wednesday, your energy, like the way you give out, it's so wonderful. And like, I mean,
Oh,
like
man.
Thanks, mate.
it's I'm gonna cry. Yeah, you need to listen to this shit, man.
Oh, man,
because
thanks.
they are melodic, but they have like these huge balls. When they go on stage, they have wheelbarrows to carry their big balls.
Cojones.
Which, yeah, cojones, yeah, cola.
Yeah, we
hola.
just have fun.
Yeah,
We just
and
have
it's
fun.
it's an amazing thing. And what I really liked about the Rados thing is eventually, I don't know if you phased out or not, but eventually you were like, oh fucking god, like Lidi, vidim Lidi, vola. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And everybody was having, I mean, you were just reading what you got back from your energy from the public. Because I think everybody was like, so if I would be to describe somehow your lives versus your concert, your album, sorry, is that I think you are one of the I don't know music, man, but you are one of the guys that are able to actually read the audience and have this kind of fucking catharsis, man. I mean, you're really connected with those.
Thanks a lot, man.
I mean, I really feel that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to brag, otherwise you wouldn't be here, you know. Like, I only do good shit. No, but honestly, I mean, there were 2 or 3 years of my life, and this makes me probably remember my ex. See, I found the use of this shirt for this shirt. But I've been in many like places like Volesha and listened to many bands like they are starting and young guys and so on. And you stand out, man. I mean, you totally stand out. Now about Streha Radost.
Yeah. Nice.
Exactly. Nice.
I went home, you know, because I didn't know, and this will lead to a question eventually, but I need my 20 minutes.
Just get
now.
in there.
Yeah. I'm slowly getting there. So I didn't know your new songs because I was following the YouTube channel, which is I Love You Honey Bunny band, or just I Love You Honey Bunny.
I don't know.
Not sure.
I have no idea.
You
Probably
will
I Love
find them.
I think it's I Love You.
I
Honey
think
Bunny
it's just
band.
I Love Honey. Oh, with band?
Yeah.
Okay, it's with
I
band.
think it's with band, maybe, or just the Instagram. Anyway,
Whatever.
He's gonna Google it.
what was I saying? Yeah, so I didn't listen to the new stuff. I wanted, because my relationship with you guys in my head, it's first a live relationship and then, you know, like a Spotify relationship. So I didn't listen to the new songs, right? If you say some names, I will remember. Like, whatever. Doesn't.
We played 3 new
we
songs.
played
No, you played 4. You played the Don't Lie to Her, whatever. I
Try
don't
to Tell Her Lies, but that's
Okay.
actually
that's
on the album. That's
It
actually
is
on
there.
the album.
Yeah, it is on the album.
Yeah.
But I mean, my things, like, I didn't listen. I mean,
Yeah.
what I knew by heart, or
Well, okay,
your
so you
old
didn't
songs.
re-listen
I
to
see.
it.
Yeah, because I'm saying that I saw you put it out there, but then I started doing the podcast. So I said, I'm going to get I Love You Honey Bunny in the podcast. And I did, man. I did. So I don't want to listen to that before, you know, I get to talk to you. But then when you said yes, and I saw that you have the live, I'm like, I'm not going to listen to that. I want to first see them live. So I'm now getting to the question slowly. So I went home after seeing you live. There were some songs which I didn't know, which have a different vibe than the ones I know, which to me, maybe I'm wrong, it's the pandemic thing, right? You got together somehow, and I mean, I don't remember those songs from 2 years ago.
Yeah,
No, the new stuff.
Yeah, we
Well,
played 3.
But
3 songs. Yeah,
sorry to
yeah.
interrupt.
No,
Like,
it's
let
right.
me lead to the thing I want, because I'm about to kiss more ass, dude. And I went home. I rolled a joint after that live because we had the camera crew with the drone, Soli Media. Thank you, blah blah. I didn't want to, you know, smoke or really go on beer, so I took the whole thing in, and I didn't take it like normally from the crowd. I was like walking around, whatever. And then I went home. I rolled a fucking huge spliff, man. And my go-to thing, and that might be my brain and whatever, but my go-to thing when I'm high and I want to like relax and sleep is Dark Side of the Moon. But this time I did Cosmic Background Radiation.
Nice.
And this is where I make a point, and then you can talk another half hour. Is you have there Laser Queen, I think, and Knees, which I knew before. But then the new stuff, the intro, the outro, the fact that it kind of grows like on its own. The lyrics, man, I mean, everything. It's a fucking experience. And to me,
So cool.
It really feels like Dark Side of the Moon. And if this is your fucking debut album, guys. I mean, but then again, I don't know music, right? I'm not. But if you can create this, like a party fucking atmosphere while you're live, and then the same fucking thing, like kind of relaxing, smoothing, spiritual, you know, makes your wheels turn. Man,
That'd be cool.
that's
cool,
what
yeah.
you do. You are so cool because of that.
Well, hopefully the second time we do it a little better than the first time, because you know everyone
Always
like
better.
we've listened to it so many times like over the time, and it has changed a lot, like, for sure. And some of the songs have changed. I don't know, like
But,
the last day of basically like.
Yeah.
So there's a few songs on there which were completely different when we went into the studio, and then last day of recording we went like, or I did. I was so unhappy with it. I was like, this is not it. It's just not the fucking thing I want. And so I just completely changed it. I think Volcano Hidden Base was
Yeah.
completely different. That was a totally different thing.
That was completely
It
different.
had like a shit vibe, and
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep because of it. I was so stressed and depressed. I was like, fuck.
But you
How do I
actually-
make this? How do I make this good? And then I just had them. Well, they went out for a breathe, I think. Just sat outside for a bit. I was like, no, I can't go. I sat inside and I wrote a whole new thing on top of basically the old thing.
Yeah, and then he went to bed, and
And they recorded it. And I woke up and I was like, yeah, this is it.
yeah, and Tomasz, our producer, he was like, okay, let's try to doing something with it, and we actually left just. I believe it was just drums and like a bass part in the song, and,
Yeah,
and we
the original-
deleted
the
everything
original
else,
one,
and then
yeah.
his lyrics, and we built everything else, and then he woke up, he finished the lyrics, and then Chris actually re-recorded the bass even. So only basically drums was the only thing, and
Which
even
stayed, yeah. And
Yeah.
like they've stayed pretty much the same, but they have been re-recorded to sound better, but not on like a fundamental level. But like the song is just it's like a, I don't know, black and white. It's basically so different from what it used to be, and it's been kind of like that. So the new stuff that we have, and we've played it, maybe Try to Tell Her Lies, you talked about it, and we played it live before it was released, and it was also completely different. It was like this whole rock and roll indie guitar thing, and it completely shifted into more of a like a synth vibe. There's this intro thing and all, and after that it goes into the chorus. But before that, we played it like a really like
kind of like Cook's.
we even
vibe or
played it in
something.
played it in Canada and everything, and then we went to the studio and just like, this is not working for what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
So I think like this is kind of our process, and I think it pays off, because then you're like at the last minute, if you don't find out like what you want, it's not going to be on there. If I hadn't changed Volcano, I think I wouldn't have wanted it to be on the album, because it wasn't working. And I just had to change it, so we did. And it's turned out pretty good, I think. At least that one.
We actually, a follow-up information on what you said. It's that a lot of people tell us that the vibe from the concerts and from the album are very different. When we were recording the album, it was more like a very precise, controlled environment. It's not like when we are playing all together. But I think it's a good thing. It's not supposed to be the
I'm not
exact,
saying it's a
live.
bad or a good thing. I'm just saying you are able to provide good music in two experiences.
Oh yeah.
Because
cool,
like no, I mean we all know bands that sound good on the album and they totally suck live. Metallica is just one of them. Right?
Yeah.
That was my point. I mean,
Yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we can get that on the second one.
On the second
And we've
one.
got like some good material, I think. It's just there's so much work to do still. So hopefully
Yeah,
when we get into the studio, I'm gonna get like angry again and change it completely and
Yeah, we
make
have
it better.
like a lot of ideas, and we need to like finish them and put them together, so it makes sense the whole album. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. It's-
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, I think.
yeah,
And we're supposed to leave next week to do another like big rehearsal for a few, like I don't know, a week or two, just to work on new stuff. And we just found out we can't go to our normal place, which is kind of
yeah.
a
But
shit. But
you-
we'll find something.
you
We'll
don't
find
know
something.
yet, but we can go to Ponišice actually.
Oh, right, we can do that.
Exactly. Yeah, I just had a
Oh,
call
can we
before
set
the podcast.
like set
so
the
yeah.
whole thing up, or just the?
I'm gonna tell you later.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to waste your time. 'Cause that would be- So apparently we do have a rehearsal. So next week we're working on new stuff, and hopefully like can pump out some new music as soon as possible, because that would be good, especially with Corona ending.
yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
I don't want to jinx
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah. There's this chatter that we will be in lockdown in October, November as well. So,
Yeah, apparently,
Yeah,
but-
well, let's enjoy
because
the
of
summer.
shitheads, like I don't know, like
Maybe we
Fuck you, Babish.
yeah, but no, but it's also like people who don't want to get vaccinated. Like
Wait,
fuck
wait,
that,
wait, wait,
fuck
just
that crowd. I don't
Fuck
know.
you, Babush.
Yeah. No, it's just I mean, like people who don't want to get vaccinated. Like what's wrong with you? Like we've had enough. It's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like whoever comes up to me and says, "Well, I don't know, I don't want to get vaccinated because I don't know, like I'm gonna get some 5G chip in my head." And it's like, "Fuck you." That's what I got for you. Fuck you. Right.
How to me part of your success besides this kind of like background in music, as you know, is, I think, if I'm reading it right, that you guys are friends among each other, right?
Yeah,
And
well,
I'm
it,
gonna-
wouldn't really work if we weren't.
I'm going to ask the devilish question, right? So how long do you think this can last?
You mean the friendship or the band?
The friendship, therefore the band, I guess. No.
I think the friendship can outlast the band, and sometimes that happens. So I think that's tough. That's a tough question, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys think.
But we would love to be like, I don't know,
Old guys
old
just
guys
playing.
just jamming to, I don't know,
That would be
few
fun, yeah.
people in the
Rolling
pub,
Stones.
just playing old blues. I don't know.
Have a kid at
I don't care, but I-
75.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to
Yeah,
play
pretty
with
much.
them, for a long time. So
I really wish that for you. I mean, I believe that part of the success is the way you. I mean, I can see you're having fun on stage, man. I can see you're still friends, and you know.
yeah, but it was I don't know 7-8 months since our last shows, so we were
So
really
that also
pumped.
does a lot.
Okay.
Does a
Really,
lot for
really
you.
pumped. But
I hate them. Otherwise, I don't want to see them. But like, this was a new. This was a show after so much time.
we're
So I was
always
like,
no,
I was like, okay, guys,
no more.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna smile at you, but this is the last time you see me
Yeah.
smiling at you.
It was just everything
Yeah,
was
it
just
was-
the act, you know.
was
yeah,
fake.
it's just I'm so fake. I'm so fake.
And for the people there, the rain was about to start. I've seen these guys dismantle the stage in like what, 15 minutes max? Everything was gone in 15
It was
minutes.
crazy.
Yeah, we had to do that.
We did like a speed run, like a Minecraft speed
That was
run.
the festival. They
festival
actually set
speed
up
run.
the studio with Stan in like also 15 minutes, right? Yeah. Magenta Experience Center. Thank you, T-Mobile. It's open for everybody, and we're having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where do you want to take? What? I have another question.
Okay.
Go for it.
What did you not get asked in Nova interview, which just happened? And you can make a shout out to Nova. I don't care. I'm
hi.
in a different business. When is gonna air? I mean, they.
Yeah,
It was live.
It was live actually, but this.
But you can find it on the rewatch.
Yeah.
There's like a way to rewatch it. I think
That was live.
it's called Nagauchi, I think. Right?
Nagauchi, something
There's
like
like
that.
it's like a culture show where they talk about movies and sometimes music. This time
Yeah.
they talked about music and they had us on it. And I mean they were nice. It's just like a very vanilla experience, if you know what I mean. As in, you come in and they're like, okay, so you have this new music video. What's it about? And you talk about what it's about.
yeah,
And then they're like,
What are your plans?
oh, what are
you
your
know?
plans? And you say,
Yeah.
what are your plans? And that's basically it. And
Yeah,
so
you're like 3
it's-
minutes there, and
yeah,
that's it. Yeah, so
it's
we are
5 to 10
actually
minutes.
really looking forward to this podcast. You know.
yeah, which is
'cause
why podcasts
it's-
are so cool because you
exactly,
get to talk about
yeah.
stuff for so long, and I get to talk, which is a thing I love to do, as you can see. I'm sometimes very obnoxious with my talking, but yeah, the Nova thing, it's not a bad thing. I don't want to like talk smack about them. It's just that
we
it's,
love you, Nova.
yeah, it's just very vanilla. So they don't really ask you anything interesting because they don't have the time to do that. So if someone also like, if this is a very different format, so you also have different expectations from the people who watch it. So there it's like, okay,
Nobody watches it.
I did.
we did.
I watched the Everhard guy.
Canadian, Eric.
Yeah, and we also watched a bit of the comedian you had on. I forgot his name.
Jose Carlos Moreno.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
By the way, like I love interviews with comedians because they are so interesting, and at the same time, they can insult you into your face, and you're happy about it. They go "fuck you," and you're happy. It's like, what's going on? Like, why? And I say, "Thank you." It's like you just insulted me and my wife. What is going on? So yeah, that's really
Did
cool.
we release the uncut version? What is he talking about? Wow, yeah, that was my lesson that maybe I shouldn't try to be funny. Well, I mean, I shouldn't maybe be filming while I drink alcohol.
Oh, you did?
know?
There.
Yeah. At one point, I think. Yeah. I'm not gonna ask you if you struggle with these things because this is like an older man kind of thing, you know. I'm just gonna advise you that you might have fun, but microdosing is a thing, you know, like and it works with alcohol as well. Yeah,
probably
that
does.
was my point. We're heading towards this podcast being alive still in October or November. Sober October, November, mustache November. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Movember
Yeah,
is cancer,
so-
I think.
Ah,
Testicular cancer, I think. So that's a different thing. But yeah,
bah.
I get your point.
I heard now. Sorry. Yeah. We should maybe turn on the air conditioning. I'm getting hot.
Oh, there's
Like,
air conditioning.
super
Just
fucking- I
open
don't
the
know.
doors.
Can you ask them?
We'll get some ambient sound at least. Make it.
Yeah. So, help me. Where do you want to take this interview further?
I don't know. I just want to talk to you.
That's
I don't
fine.
care.
Let's talk.
So if there's something that
I
interests
mean,
you, if there's like, something you want to
I'm
know,
just noticing two USB like kind of connectors or whatever they are hanging.
Yeah.
Are we getting this? Are we getting this?
Yeah.
These are different microphones. They're not.
Yeah.
They don't work on these
That'd be a
cables.
funny thing.
Microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're different type of microphone.
How old are you guys, man? Honestly.
26, 27.
26,
Yeah.
27.
So you are basically starting playing at 20, 21, something like that.
No,
19, I think.
19,
Yeah.
19.
Like the band
No,
as,
I mean,
as
like,
it is.
the
The band,
band
as it is.
yeah.
As it is was 19.
19,
Yeah, we were
yeah.
19 when.
So 2015 were like you were playing already 2-3 years. 4.
Yeah.
Something like
We
that.
started
years, yeah.
2013.
Yeah.
2013.
Okay,
The
yeah.
first
Yeah,
show
2013
was
is when we started.
in November 2013. Yeah, that was the first show, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it in Rock Cafe?
No. It was in Futurum Music Bar.
Oh,
Futurum was our first gig. Yeah.
This reminds me of a thing that I wanted to say, but
Yeah.
maybe it will be in the ending with the Patreon thing because I'm gonna confess to something. So remind me, Stan. Be my consciousness.
So stick around.
We
to
don't have a
see just
Patreon
that.
yet. We're gonna just record shit for that whenever we will be able. Do you guys have Patreon?
We don't actually.
Patreon. No, we don't.
We were just like discussing that, but
Oh.
never did it. Actually, might do in future.
How
Because
about OnlyFans? Because you guys are
OnlyFans,
cute guys. You're handsome.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Yeah, like-
Sure, it's-
I mean, if we hit a rough patch, we might.
we might. Yeah.
Right now, I think we're still kind of sort of fine, but it might happen.
are you? This is a question.
Let us know if
everybody
you want.
hates me for asking. You know, like the money question. Are you guys living off the band now? No.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
How long
no.
do you think it? What I mean, tell me what the process is. You've put an
Like-
album out. The album. Did you
Honestly-
have like a normal
Yeah, like honestly,
launch or?
at the
Yeah.
moment we could take actually some money from the band and like actually to have something from the band, but we decided not to, so we can make like the second album even better than the first one. So,
Yeah, because
so we
it's
have-
such a huge investment.
Yeah, it
like
is
no one
huge
really
investment.
realizes, but like making an album is costly as
yeah, if you
hell.
want to do
It's
even
insane.
like 3 music videos with the album and some promotion and stuff, you're looking.
And the recording itself also is very expensive. Like everything costs so much money. And-
Don't scare the young guys that are 19 now and they're
no,
looking
but
up
nowadays,
to you.
nowadays
but-
it's been like making. It depends
But
on
I
what you
guess
want to
it's
make.
hard,
But
yeah.
like if you want to make something in your bedroom, like you can record anything with basically your iPhone. I
Yeah.
think like it's become so accessible to everyone,
And
which I
look
love.
At,
I
look
think
at like
it's
Phineas
super
and
cool.
Billie Eilish. The
Yeah,
first
exactly.
songs,
like
you
their
know, so
few
you-
first songs recorded with a shitty.
I'm an
USB.
old man. I almost don't know who Billie Eilish is.
Almost.
Almost.
But,
But,
yeah,
yeah.
okay, it's cool.
Yeah,
So
but you could do it super cheap. That's just
it's just we're megalomaniacs, and so we like to do stuff way bigger than it needs to be, and so we just go full batshit crazy, and then we realize,
like, the
oh no,
best
it
studio
costs
was- yeah.
too much, and we have to pay for it for the next 2-3 years. So I think that's like the biggest thing. We can sustain ourselves, so why drain the money from the
from
band?
the band. Yeah.
That's a good decision if you ask me.
Yeah.
You didn't. You just presented it. But yeah, you have my support for it. I mean, that's the right thing to do, guys. And it's amazing that, okay, when's going to be the next album? Probably Nova already asked, but...
No, they didn't.
Okay,
See? You got them.
You got the.
When is it coming out?
Let's say next year.
Is it going to be still like a kind of a... Wait. Is this album, the Cosmic Background Radiation, is it a conceptual album? Was I right with the feeling I got from like Dark Side of the Moon? Is it the same kind of... Did you think
Sort of.
about it like that?
Sort of.
Maybe lyrically more you did, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the music we do, it just comes out as it is, and so you can
Okay.
hear the phase. You can hear the phases in it,
Yeah.
which is why it changes. Because you're like, okay, these songs were made at this point of time, and these ones were made this time.
Yeah, but,
and so that's why they change so much. But at the same time, like we kind of like to think the things make sense together. You think of it as a whole, not of a separate amount of.
I don't see any other
songs.
reason why you would
Yeah.
have an intro and an outro.
Yeah,
I mean, what are you trolling?
Yeah. And at some
Are
point,
we on
at some
4chan?
point, no. At some point, we actually were trying to make a like full blown conceptual album. We even had like 3 songs that were a story about a guy, and the album was supposed to be the guy's story.
Is it introduction, yellow and blue? And...
It started with introduction. Second one was party mode, and the third one is never finished.
Okay.
It's just lying somewhere in our drawers. But we started that, and I was like really I was trying to push that through. I was like, I think this is what we want to do, but I don't know, it just didn't happen. And at some point we were like, okay, well, this is not where we are anymore. It's like back then maybe it would have been cool, but we are recording it, I don't know, 2 years after those songs were made. So it doesn't make any more sense. It would be outdated to us. I know people maybe would enjoy it, but it's just like for us, we also want to make the music like as we want it to be. And so we just said, fuck that shit, and just do what feels right, make it stick together, work, and that's what we did. And we do think about like how the things sound compared to one another, try to build it so that when you listen to it, you can listen to the whole thing through, like from start to finish. That's also a big point.
But actually, I'm really glad you did. You did listen to the whole album, because
twice.
nobody does that. Yeah, nobody does that like these days. You know, it's everyone listens to the singles and stuff. So it's real nice that you.
But you are right. Not all like albums are created equal in that way, because
I agree.
Some can be listened to as a whole and some not as much. Like there's some albums where you just go, I can't listen to the songs separately. I just have to listen to the whole thing, go from start to finish, and just experience the whole thing. I'm thinking about like, I don't know, Plastic Beach from Gorillaz maybe. Like that's an album for me that just makes so much sense together. Like from start to finish, you really want to listen to the whole thing, because they also do stories. Like all their albums are stories, and you don't need to know the story. Like nobody gives a shit about that. But listening to it, you just get the sense of like these things flow from one another and they talk to one another. And it gives you this whole experience. Also, I don't know, Random Access Memories from Daft Punk.
Also, but you've got to be like huge musician
Sound of
to
Color
be able to
from
do that well as
like
Gorillaz.
we
And
can't aspire to do these things. Like that's way like
we
it's insane.
would love to in a few years, you know, but yes,
We still have
not
lots
there
of
yet,
to learn. Yeah, like Sound of Color from Alabama Shakes. That's also an album that's just makes sense as a whole. Yeah, just some tips, throwing them out there.
throwing them out there.
Just go for the whole thing. Yeah.
Stan, do you have anything?
So
The guy was showing us 40 minutes, so
I think
like 5
he
minutes
showed us
ago, so
30 minutes.
30. Okay.
30.
So
Then we
Stan,
have like 20 minutes.
you said you have like
Yeah.
I don't know.
So actually,
You
guys,
come here if you.
No, it's okay. It will be here from here.
I actually didn't know you guys. He wrote me about you, and he wrote me, look, you need to listen to these guys. And I listened to the Spotify version, and I'm like, man, this is not really my type of music. But then also my girlfriend went to sleep, my boy went to sleep, so I light up a joint and I'm like, okay, I'll put some of your concerts, like, and I listened like for 2 hours just to your live concerts. And the first thing that came to my mind, because my girlfriend is Romanian, we speak English for like 6 years, so I'm pretty good. I'm listening a lot of podcasts in English, and I'm thinking, how the fuck do you write those lyrics? Like, how does it come up? What's your process when you are writing lyrics to a song?
Stan is the man with the question, always, man. Thank you, Stan.
That's a really good question. That's actually a really good question. And we struggle with those because usually people ask, the same questions over and over. So I really appreciate this one. Ooh, all right.
I'm actually interested right now. Really.
So
go for it.
Well, usually I just get like a vibe from something we do. I start off usually like there's a riff or a chord progression or something we get, and I just have it like swishing around in my head, and I just go something. And at first, it's like a few words come in by themselves. It's not really like, it's just I kind of let it happen, and I'm like, okay, this sounds good. And then I go, okay, this piece sounds good. What can I do around that? And so I build from like something that comes up naturally, which also helps it like flow really well. Because I think a lot of people struggle when writing lyrics with flow because they try to cram words into stuff where it doesn't belong, and they go like this. I want to say this, so I have to like stuff it in there. And then it comes out all like square and it just doesn't like it's trying to put a square peg into a round hole. It just doesn't work. And I really struggle with that listening to some stuff. I go like, yeah, but this doesn't flow rhythmically and I just like it's I mean it's a good lyric. It's not a bad lyric. That's not the problem. The problem is it just doesn't meld like meld with the song, with the music. And so for me it's just like I don't know, I would just get like a riff, like one thing. It's I'm trying to come up with an example, but if something sounds good to me and I just go over it and I keep repeating it, I was like, okay, this makes sense. So where do I go from here? Like what's before, what's after? Is it the chorus? Is it the verse? And it helps a lot. I also cheat a lot, as in I would go I use Rhyme Zone because why not, you know? I think like people go, oh, you use a rhyme zone. That's, you know, you're lazy. And it's like, no, I just, you know, it helps look at the words. Sometimes you don't use them. Sometimes you go like, oh, this is a cool word. Does it make sense in the music, in the lyrics? Does it make sense to use that? Yeah, sure. If so, you can use it. If no, fuck that. And don't push it. Like that's my advice to anyone writing lyrics. Just don't push it. Just do what makes sense to you and what sounds good, because that's so important. And then in the end, I also like a bit of mysticism. I don't go like straightforward. I just sometimes I do some like shady stuff that sounds good and sounds like something would make sense. And then it kind of does. I don't know why. It's just like, oh yeah, true. So if you use it in the context of the music, what I'm singing about, I don't know, like Volcano Hidden Base, that, again, we're coming back to that song because it just changed so fast. I wrote the lyrics on the spot. And I just had the hook, the "we will not be frowned upon," just that part.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, so what's this about? Like, what's the point? And the song is about like destroying the environment. Basically, it's about how we all have become the James Bond villain in the story. We all became that guy who sits in his volcano spewing out like toxic gas into the atmosphere to poison everyone, but for no apparent reason.
Sorry to stop you now, but why do we need the K197 thing coming to Earth? And this is our last hour. Why do we need that to realize? And I totally agree. In real life, we need the fucking cataclysm to fucking realize where we are. Which isn't that sad?
I don't know. We're wired that way. It's just our stupid monkey brains just can't comprehend this stuff. We're like, there's so much space. Like it's fine. You can't see it, and we don't like we don't get stuff that we don't see. Whenever someone talks about, you know, the universe being infinite, like sure that sounds cool, but what does that mean? Like we can't visualize it. We don't know. And seeing things in context makes sense. So if you see like a huge rock coming down and destroying everything, you're like, oh, okay, this is a thing that's happening. But if it's just like invisible gas killing turtles or whatever, it's just, you don't see it. And therefore your brain goes, that's not important. You don't need to deal with that. Because as monkeys, we just went about our days just fucking shoving food down our throats and fucking around, and the only thing that was important was the thing that was happening at the moment. We didn't like plan ahead. We didn't need to know that the jungle was changing or something. We don't need to know that. We only need to know like what's happening and deal with the stuff as it comes up. And this stuff just doesn't come up at all, and it's gonna kill you like very, very slowly. But it is, so it's tough for us. I think.
Is it?
Sorry, that was my rant.
No, but do you think? I mean,
I'm ranting.
You make good points. Do you think this is a generation thing? Do you think that you guys are wired different than us, and you feel it different?
More, and we've heard it more. It's become so much more mainstream than it used to be.
Yeah, but
like back then, there were so many voices going, oh no, that's fine, it's fine. And the scientists were saying, but they didn't have that much of a platform. I think the internet has changed the game completely. Because with the coming of the internet, everyone has access to information. and we can all go and watch, I don't know, like Veritasium and SciShow and all these like YouTubers talking about science and telling us how it works, why it's happening, and what we can do about it. And if there's a constructive, like,
didn't the internet at the same time like fuel the flat earthers and the anti-vaxxers and
yeah, but I think
but
I think the
it's
problem
with
is that the internet
every-
makes it look bigger.
Yeah.
I think there
Okay.
always were crazy people. And yeah, sure, they do band together on the internet. They do get together and go on their stupid, crazy witch hunt, which, whatever, just do you if it doesn't like hurt anyone, which I guess flat earthers don't really do anything. Like, I don't care about them. I haven't met any of them. And they are somewhere, of course, but they're stupid, so I don't care. Like, why would I care about
I've met a
stupid
few
people?
guys in
you have-
in US.
Yeah, in the
Texas,
US
and-
maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
But there's,
doesn't-
I'm sure
Texas?
there's some
Texas,
people here
yeah.
as well. I'm sure there's some people
shout
here
out to Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I felt that you guys, the Honey Bunnyz, you really have a coherent message throughout the cosmic background radiation. That's because you started like that, and then it's about lying to your girlfriend, about like the things that you would think if you would only have like 1 hour to live. That's how I felt it. I don't know if he showed me a
15
finger,
minutes.
not
I
the
think
middle
this was
finger.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. We have 15 minutes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, just I think like last thing is just that what's important for us is that there is a message other than boy loves girl, girl loves boy, and that's, I mean, we've all heard it, and it can be cool. Like, there's a bunch of love songs that I like, and we do have a few ourselves, but I think it gets boring after a while, and so I like to just use the platform for something constructive. That go, okay, the world is ending, like, let's do something, or I don't know, rape is a huge thing, so let's make a song about that. And
Which one is the
bloodshed.
Bloodshed,
Okay.
yeah. And
The
this
last,
is actually
af-
the thing.
No, it's not the last one.
That I
It's before
really,
outro.
yeah, this is actually the thing that I really like about Sebastian's lyrics, because he always like comes up with something that basically some topic that we talked about before and stuff, but then let's say bloodshed, then the lyrics can like inspire the music. So it's about rape. So then I like completely changed the guitar, because it doesn't make any sense to have like super chilled, funny guitar.
But sometimes that makes sense. Like, sometimes you go against the vibe.
Yeah,
and
sometimes you could go
yeah,
against it. It makes sense. But
no, but this one is
Yeah.
kind of tough. This one,
So-
you wouldn't want to go like, ha, rape,
Rape.
funny. No, it's not.
yeah, so. Yeah, but I also do like his lyrics. Yeah, they
Thanks.
make a lot of sense.
Thanks, man. Thanks, bro.
Everybody does. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a fucking fan. Okay, so last 10 minutes. I asked this thing. If you've seen the podcast, you know. So each and every one of you gets a turn. If you would be able to change something about the world today, what would it be? This is my ending question.
Wow.
Yeah.
Give us 30 minutes.
Yeah. Take your time.
I'd go that way because I talked way too much, so I need I need to stop for a
So,
bit.
so Chris starts.
No way.
Oh, true. Yeah, based on that.
Martin, you can do it.
I don't know. So much stuff, and yet I love it over here. Everything about that, and it always depends on the mood. So I don't know. It's a tough question right there. What would you like to change about the world?
I never got the question back, did I?
Nice.
Ah.
You can try it.
But I can tell you what Eric said. Eric said that he wishes for a world in which everybody would have a perfect ass, man.
Perfect. Yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's just it's
Nice.
simple, basic, yet everybody can relate to. I've got other people telling me that they would like to, end the hunger.
Yeah.
Like inspiring things. I got a guy
cool.
told me that he wants new shoes. So
Everyone gets new shoes.
Yeah, it's up for grabs. I don't know. Like this is a tough question when it comes back like that.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Honey Bunnyz. I was not expecting this. I was not prepared for this.
We always ask the tough questions.
But if
Come on,
I
go,
would
guys.
be able to influence the future, I would really, and this is our Patreon bit. We're gonna cut eventually because but if I would be able not to change the world, but to have my way eventually, I was thinking like, what would be the best musical experience ever? And I would want to listen to you in parallel while I listen to Tricot. This is a Japanese band, girl band. They played in Prague 2 or 3 times. I saw them in Futurum.
Cool.
If you do not know Tricot,
Tricot,
you should do Tricot.
Okay.
They are kind of like math metal, are totally kind of very different. It's like you guys, like I Love You Honey Bunny, made a baby with Mr. Bungle and then spit it out Tricot. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I would like to like go off on an amazing, I don't know, shrooms or LSD experience while listening to both of you at the same time.
Right,
Wow.
so-
How do you feel about that? Can we make this happen?
Yeah, sure. Why not? You know, like, yeah.
All right.
let us just like
All right.
listen to them and message them. You know, maybe we could. You know.
I'm
And
going to
so
steal
would you
one
like
of
to-
yours out there.
Would you like to have like A and B switch between the two
No,
bands, or
no.
just like
I just
both
want to
together?
take it
Yeah,
all
at the same
together,
time.
at the same time. Maybe just split the stage somehow, so one eye is, you know,
All right.
something like that at the same time. Man.
Yeah,
it's
a great idea.
sensory overdose.
You know, yeah.
I don't know why people don't do this.
Like Clockwork Orange stuff.
Clockwork Orange stuff. Yeah.
Go full.
Yeah, like
Full in.
Brazil.
Just
Brazil.
if you're supposed to go
Nice.
crazy, just go all in. Oh,
Yeah.
Brazil, that's cool.
That's
movie.
amazing. I mean, you guys were not born.
Yeah.
It's a 1980 something.
It's a
This
very
is
old
my
movie.
my dad.
It's my
right
dad
here.
again.
You know,
Yeah.
exactly.
My
Yeah.
dad loves that movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
he
like,
loves it so
I
much.
think I was like 7 years old, and he was like, "Hey, here's Brazil." I was like, "What is that?
Whoa.
What is that?" And,
but it's a real mindfuck.
I had to watch that several years later to actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't say understand the movie, but yeah, actually make
Yeah.
any sense of
Cool.
that. But my dad.
Yeah,
showed
my
me
dad
that.
is a huge sci-fi nerd. Like he loves it.
Yeah.
And which is strange because he's a professor at university, and he just like now he does, but back then he didn't look like a guy who would like binge watch Star Wars and stuff. But we skipped over our questions.
The
we
question,
gotta get
yeah.
in there. Come on, guys, come on. Just you can do
Well,
whatever.
you've got to start. you
All
know?
right, I go first. I'll go first. So what I think if I could change anything, it would be to make making music like more easy to live off of. Like that would be my thing probably, because I really want to do that, but it's just so hard. Like even I know people who have bands that are pretty big, and they still can't like make it work, which is such a shame. And I think like there would be so much more great music if just making music was actually like a viable like option financially. So I would do that probably. I would change that. 'Cause
I love that.
I think
That's a
there'd be
generous
so many-
idea.
Yeah,
man.
we
I would say the
and
same
like
about
all the arts.
podcasting.
Yeah, about all the arts. I think like just making stuff.
Yeah.
Like some not physical stuff, but like some cultural stuff. Just making that more viable. That would be my thing.
Oh well, I don't know, something general. I'd love to see people listening more to each other. I think, and not living in their small little ideas.
No, it's totally legit as well.
It's
Yeah.
nice. It's really nice.
I think
sorry.
that would kind of solve a lot of stuff.
I'm such a dick.
I guess maybe that it would even solve your problem.
Yeah, maybe
Hopefully.
it would. Yeah, maybe it would.
I kind of think
It's true. It's
that
true. If
that's
people
a-
listen more, they would maybe pay more money for music.
Is Kristina your problem he's referring to? At one point you said on the stage, Kristina, this is for you, and you were playing.
no, it's a
It's a
different.
totally different thing.
It was actually a funny story right there.
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
actually
yeah.
asked us to dedicate one of our songs at the concert to this particular girl.
Oh, yeah.
She had her anniversary with her
Very nice of you,
husband, and we were like,
Very nice.
"Shall we do
I mean,
it?"
he
or
could-
not?
he
With
said
her
it. I didn't-
husband,
I
I would have said no.
Yeah, but it was
Sorry,
kind
Kristina.
of sweet.
The funny thing was the guy called me and he was like, "Hey, we have this anniversary, and could you like take her on stage, and
Oh my
He's
god!
like-
Okay, so
I was
this
like,
is
hey,
how you got out of it.
Yeah,
this
we're
is
like,
gonna be
I'm
on
not-
Patreon.
no,
I
no,
don't
it's,
want to put.
uh,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
sure, mate, but yeah, we could like dedicate a song to her? Like, what is her favorite
Yeah,
song?
at
And
first-
I
at
thought
first-
I
no,
was
at
a
first-
fan there, and I thought, fucking hell, 6 years following this band, I didn't know about Kristina.
It's kind of weird. Because at
Seriously, I was like
at
that.
first he even wanted us to play like a song from someone else, like
Yeah,
a
like
different
a cover
band
song, you
for
know?
her,
I was like,
and
what-
have her come on stage.
And why is he asking that? You
Ah,
know,
like-
so I was like, okay, so what is her favorite song?
Dude, I'm
from
not
us?
coming to your workplace and asking you to like, I don't know,
Yeah.
do something else than what it is
But
you
that's
do.
amazing. This should be a question. What is the craziest request you ever got? I mean, like, is this the craziest request you ever got?
I mean, it is pretty crazy, but I sort of get it because people are out of touch. They don't
I mean,
understand.
can you please play at
Yeah.
my birthday some Megadeth song?
Yeah,
I would be
yeah,
so
like,
happy.
yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with that?
I mean, if we know the guy, like maybe, but this is just like some random dude we've never even
yeah.
met. It's like,
But
what?
he had the cojones grandes, you know, to ask.
Yeah, he actually went for
Actually,
it.
yeah, no,
I,
good
I
for the
respect
guy.
that. I respect that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
respect
yeah.
that.
You know,
What
ask
was-
for what you
was
want.
like a crazy thing like we had to do. Oh yeah, we had one guy. This is funny. We played. It was way back, like first year of us playing, and we played like a gig, like a band battle thing.
Oh.
And there's this guy,
Nice.
and yeah, there's like a whole panel of
We've
people
made
who
a
are apparently
few
like
bad
professionals.
decisions, you know.
Yeah, about professionals, and then they were supposed to give us like some feedback and tell
yeah.
us like, well, we should change, and
And it was
was
awkward,
such a
you know.
surreal
Yeah, like
experience
from
Like,
start
we-
to finish. You know,
Yeah,
it
we
was-
played there. We obviously didn't win it because like we're just too edgy for that kind of stuff, I think, and they just were like, "What's going on?" And one of the guys, he went on to say like, "Yeah, I mean, the music is fine, I guess, but what I think you should do is." You should focus more on the outfits that you wear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you know, maybe you should wear like a vest. You know, like the thing you wear under a suit.
Yeah, like
And just that, like those, and make them fit. Like everyone wears the same stuff.
stuff.
So like have a costume for the band that everyone wears with a tie, but and like
we were like,
what is wrong with this guy? Like, and apparently he's like a professional who like knows this stuff. It's like, wow, okay, dude. So that's become like a joke in our band.
exactly. Yeah,
Where-
we knew we fucked up
Vestička,
at that
yeah,
moment.
we
So
call it
yeah, it's
Vestičky,
like,
yeah.
we shouldn't be there.
Vestičky.
Yeah.
Vestičky, yeah. It's like,
You didn't
fuck,
tell me
man.
your what would you change, so I can ask you the last thing, I guess. If you want.
I'm not
You
sure.
wanna
my
pass?
I don't,
You want a
no,
joker?
no. Yeah, several things. So okay, so one of them I would bring like more Czech beer into US.
I agree with that.
yeah,
I
that's-
lived in the US as well for a while. I totally agree. Fucking
the
Coors
thing.
Lights. I was drinking 27 of them.
Jesus.
They were like looking at me like God, but
It's
I showed them
drinking
like
piss.
it's 2%, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You,
So
you can
that's the
drink
thing,
27 easily. You
And
know?
apparently it tastes like piss as well.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Oh,
it does.
God.
Yeah, but you
But I
still drink
only
it,
found
yeah.
out that later when I came back in Europe and drank my own piss
okay.
on an acid trip. It didn't happen.
All right.
It didn't happen yet. With 2 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, so that's it. That's it.
Yeah, bring good beer in Czech in US. Guys, the last thing, maybe I should have mentioned it. I don't know if I'm an asshole or not. I don't know if you guys believe in this or not.
You are not asshole. man.
Maybe I should have mentioned this before. But you guys are episode 13.
Oh, nice.
So
I like that.
you get, the three of you, and Peppa, if you text him, you get to name our episode, meaning I can go for episode 12 bis.
Wait, it's Friday today.
Yeah.
It's Friday, and this is the 13th
I can
episode.
go
Where's
with
the guy with the
episode
mask and the
13.
machete?
Yeah.
What is
But
he?
I can go for episode 14 as well.
Are you gonna murder us?
No.
Is that the ending of the episode? That'd be cool.
Shame. Yeah.
I mean, I think that episode would do well.
Well, yeah.
So you guys, what?
We've got to do something.
13? You want to stick with 13?
Yeah, let's go
12
for
piece
it.
or 14 is not okay for you, huh?
No, don't. Like, you want to do like 12 and a half or what?
Yeah.
No, fuck that. Let's go 13. Let's go all the way.
13,
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, we
Guys, this has been episode 13 of 19 to the dozen. I've been so happy, humbled, honored, fucking hell. I'm 40 whatever years old and I'm chatting with my idols, man. It's like meeting Axl Rose, but different. Axl Rose is 25 years old. He's from Czech Republic, whatever. Yeah! Gay. Let me do that
sorry,
again.
I'm sorry.
We're almost getting kicked out of the Magenta Experience Center, but it's a center open for everyone. They have a podcast area. It's awesome. I have been talking and I have been educated by I love you, Honey Bunny, which I totally fucking love.
Thank you
Thanks,
for
man.
having
Thanks.
us,
That's
mate.
one
Yeah,
of my
thanks.
vices in Czech Republic.
It
They've
was
been
pleasure.
awesome. Thank you. Guys, you need to promise us, due to the fact that I don't want to say, but you know, yeah, we need to do this again. We need to do the Can I book you for episode 50?
Okay.
It can be Christmas special.
Yeah.
You know, you can play Megadeth for me. I
Yes.
can.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'll wear a Christmas sweater.
Yeah. I can be
We'll turn
Santa.
the AC on.
Yeah, let's do a Christmas show. That
Like-
sounds great.
I really hope you.
We
enjoyed
even
it.
had a Christmas song
Yeah.
as a band. We made a Christmas
We're
song
a match made
way
in
back,
heaven, Honey
but
Bunnyz. Seriously.
we don't play it anymore. All right.
So I guess socials. Can you shout out for us?
Yeah, sure. Let's do a
sure.
shout out. So everyone should go and follow 19 to the dozen on where are you guys?
Follow them.
Everywhere.
YouTube,
Follow them
Facebook,
everywhere.
Instagram, Spotify,
We're on
Google
TikTok as well, but it
Podcasts,
sucks.
iTunes podcast. I don't know if they have like a thing of that. I don't have a Mac.
We're everywhere.
Every fucking way.
But
Just go and follow them and
please
yeah.
watch. We do ask you to watch our YouTube because you can see us as well.
Yeah.
Spotify. You listen to Spotify when you're on the go. When you're driving on D fucking one, fuck you, Babish.
Yeah.
Between Prague and Brno, then you can do Craig's episode because it has 3 hours and that's what it takes today.
And they
But,
are sending out free beers to every new subscriber, you know. So
We are totally doing that. Thank you,
You
Kozel.
should totally do that. Also, you were talking about Patreon. Maybe you should support them on Patreon if you want.
Yeah.
If they have a Patreon, just do
We
that.
don't yet, but we will.
All right. So when they do,
When
just
they
go
do.
and send them your money that you earned by doing hard work, so he doesn't have to do that.
That's how Patreon works.
That's how it works. Let's go. Thanks,
you,
man.
man.
Thanks.
Man, no, seriously,
Thanks. Was so
thank
nice.
you.
This was so fucking
Thank
nice.
you, guys.
Thanks, man.
I really do love you. I really hope that you will stay
Yeah,
together
here.
forever, man. I mean,
It's
the
so
stuff you do is really so good.
Thanks, mate.